Coming up on the World Sailing Show, Orient Express set their sights on the America's Cup. The contenders for the Rolex Sailor of the Year awards are revealed, and the latest action from the Paris 2024 qualifiers. With the countdown to the Paris Olympics now in the final year, we begin our look at the potential medalists in the 10 sailing events being held in Marseille next summer. From defending champions to world beaters, the sport's biggest names to the new kids on the block, we'll be meeting some of the sailors who will be competing for gold next July to find out what makes them tick and why they have a chance of winning one of sailing's biggest prizes. We begin with Italian duo Ruggero Tita and Caterina Banti. Undisputed masters of the NACRA 17, World Sailors of the Year, Olympic champions. They underlined their dominance this August, winning their third world title in the Netherlands.
We are really happy for this. We prepared this world really well in terms of everything, in terms of boats, in terms of technique, in terms of physique, in terms of mental training. So we are really happy how we sailed this week, and especially for the results.
The defending Olympic champions are uncatchable in foiling conditions, but have been working on their technique in lighter winds, which they may experience in Marseille next year at the Olympic Regatta.
We are faster in certain conditions. There are some other conditions where we struggle more. We are strong about our speed in the foiling condition. We worked a lot in these past months on the light wind. We achieved a good setup and good setting also.
I think the race area of Marseille, as we saw also in the test event, as we follow the race, can be really everything. So I think you have to be prepared for everything, for a big wave, when there is a Mistral, for strong wind, for light wind, for foiling condition, for a choppy condition. And even in the same day you can have different conditions, different race area. And the condition can evolve really quickly. So you have to be strong with all the conditions.
Such has been their dominance of the NACRA 17 class that the only teams that seem to be able to get close are fellow Italians and their other training partners, the British pair Gimson and Burnett.
The British show to be extremely consistent in every race, and they are progressing a lot in the foiling condition. The good thing is that we train together, we learn together, we push each other. We know what's our level, they know our level, and we know their weakness and their strong points. So that's the good part.
Every time they go sailing, they're always looking to improve.
We try in every training, but even in the race, to be precise and to improve always. Always to find a weak point and always to find a bad thing, and always to find how to improve these weak points. In Italian we call area di miglioramento, how we say, progressing area. So if you think that you arrived at your level, so there is no process, there is no improving.
So what's the dynamic between the pair who spend so much time training together?
He's the boss on board, I'm the boss on land.
Yeah, agree. Can't say anything on it. Do that, I do it.
It's not always easy, you know? We spend a lot of time together, a lot of time under stress and under pressure. It's not always easy, there are also up and down.
Let's say we know each other in our best and in our worst scenarios.
For Ruggero Tita, there's the added distraction of the 37th America's Cup. He's one of the helmsmen for the Italian entry, but first comes the defence of their Olympic title.
Our aim is to go to Paris and to win another gold medal. To achieve this important goal, the important is the process. So step by step, this World Championship can improve every day our performance.
We always thought Olympics by Olympics, as we did in Tokyo. After that, we were not sure if to continue, if to go on or do something else. But we kept focused until that, and then of course we will decide what to do, if go again or not. But until now I think we just put our mind on that goal, and after that we take a big breath and take some time to choose what to do.
Tita and Banti were the stars of last year's Rolex World Sailor of the Year Awards, winning Best Male and Best Female Sailor in Abu Dhabi.
Really happy, it's really
Malaga hosts the 2023 event next month, with the shortlist for key awards announced in mid-October. The nominations for Team of the Year are Australia Sail GP, winners of their third consecutive Sail GP Series title back in May. 11th Hour Racing, celebrating the event's 50th anniversary by claiming victory in this year's ocean race. Bart Lambrix and Floris van der Werken, Holland's dynamic 49er duo who swept the competition aside in 2023. And Match in Pink Normandy, winners of the Women's Match Racing World Championship in Denmark. The 4 nominees for the 11th Hour Racing Sustainability Award are Eco Racer Sailing, manufacturers of the Eco Racer 30, the world's first 100% recyclable production boat. The Magenta Project, a global leader in empowerment and mentoring in women's sailing. Biotherm Sailing, using their time in the ocean race to explore biodiversity. And Club de Vela La Balena, Optimist World Championship hosts who developed a sustainability programme for the event. The Rolex Female World Sailor of the Year nominees are Lauriane Nolot, France's Formula Kite superstar who won the World Championships and Paris 2024 test event this year. Christian Nieuwschaffer, the South African sailor who became the first woman to win the solo Golden Globe race. Betsy Allison, winner of the Women's Hansa 303 Gold at the Allianz World Sailing Championships. And Vilma Bobeck and Rebecca Neta, Sweden's 49er FX pairing, who also sailed to victory at the World Championships. Finally, the Rolex Male Sailor of the Year. Tom Slingsby, the 2010 and 2021 winner, steered Australia to a third Sail GP title this year. Bart Lambrix and Floris van der Werken, the Dutch 49er duo, won their third world title on home waters in August. Charlie Enright, the American sailor, skippered 11th Hour Racing to honours in this year's ocean race. And Max Mader, Singapore's teenage sensation, winner of both the youth and senior Formula Kite World Championships. Voting for the awards is now open at www.sailing.org. It closes on October the 30th, with the winners announced in Malaga on November the 14th. Cadiz was playing host to the 5th round of this year's Sail GP Tour. The fleet arrived in northern Spain with Emirates GBR looking for a third consecutive regatta victory, while Australia were leading the championship despite not winning a single round to date in Season 4. In true Sail GP tradition, there was drama from the start in the very first fleet race of the weekend.
It's all about getting on the foils now as the line turns white. Tight at the top, I'm not sure there's room for Switzerland in there. That was punchy from the Swiss crew.
Penalty Switzerland, you have been disqualified from the race for barging at the end.
Black flag penalty, they had no room there. Denmark had to give them room to avoid a massive collision.
With the Swiss out of the running, Spain delighted the home crowd by sailing home to win the opening heat in Cadiz ahead of the USA and Denmark. Jubilation turned to frustration though in race 2 as the Spanish came to blows with Canada.
Here we go! Oh, Phil Robertson, aggressive manoeuvre, shuts the door.
Penalty Spain, relative Canada, not entitled to mark room.
Was that payback for Saint-Tropez? There's no love lost between those two teams.
And in the end, it is Vive la France as Quentin Delapierre and the French get the victory in race number 2 here in Spain.
Wins for Australia and Denmark in races 3 and 4 virtually assured them both a place in the final. Race 5 would decide who joined them there, with the USA, New Zealand and Spain all still in with a chance.
It's going to come down to a match race manoeuvre between New Zealand and the United States at this final gate. Good advantage USA here, they're going to probably be behind, but they turn down. I'm surprised he's turned down early here. That allows New Zealand to shut the door on them. I thought he might have held wide and looked to roll the next manoeuvre ahead. United States, I think, have trapped themselves here. They're faster, but they put themselves on the outside.
All eyes on New Zealand and the USA, 4th and 5th. Whoever wins the battle between those two boats will be moving on to the event final.
Kiwis jibe right in front of the British. That could be a mistake by New Zealand here. They've trapped themselves. Big error by the Kiwis, massive error.
You're not even in a race. Go down, Pete. Oi, I heard that.
That was an unforced error. They had United States locked outside of them there. Two mistakes by two of the most experienced skippers in the fleet.
So how do you like this? The Americans go from in it to out, and they are back in again. 2 events in a row, and the Americans just barely slide into the event final.
where they'd be racing against Australia and Denmark for event honours in Cadiz.
Clear start, big mistake by Australia, big mistake by USA, and Rockwool Denmark, they're going to be in first position at Mark 1.
And the Dane magic continues in the event final. Look at that start.
USA first to turn. It's close, really close. Jimmy Spittle on the handles there. He's done a fantastic job of staying foiling. Expect a lead change.
The Americans have a monster lead now. Denmark and Australia have both gone around that gate too.
And here we go, Australia just parked the boat straight in front of Denmark. Can the Danes stay clear? They're going to be sailing in turbulent wind from the Australian wing. And look, they're pretty happy on board there. They were so close in Taranto, Todd, but right now, it's looking pretty good.
They are the new fearsome foursome of the Atlantic Ocean. It's Jimmy Spithill and the USA Sail GP team. They come to Spain and they claim the victory.
The 37th America's Cup takes place in Barcelona next autumn. Last month, defenders New Zealand and the 5 challengers all raced for the first time this cycle at the first preliminary regatta, sailing their AC40 machines as they continue to design the new larger AC75s to race for the oldest trophy in all of sport. The last to join the challengers were the French.
It's true that we are a team which started later than the others, but I think we made a lot of good choices and we found some shortcuts which enables the team to start probably behind now, but we will gain some time in the next months, and also it gives us a lot of motivation to catch up, and I like to say nothing is impossible.
We start late the launch of the project, but we train a lot on simulator, so we didn't waste our time. We trained 2-3 months on the simulator. We were using a lot the recon program to try to catch up the others, to be ready for the first regatta in Villanova.
We've been really happy with the time in the AC40. We can never get enough of it really, so we're just trying to maximise the days, and we were learning a lot. I think we're really lucky to have had some time in the simulator to prepare us, because we did have a little bit of less time than the other boats, but it actually really put us in good stead, and the sailing we've been doing from the get-go has been efficient, and we've got a clear direction for the development, so we're really happy.
The Orient Express sailing team lineup is the core of the French Sail GP team, who already race together on the foiling F50 catamarans and hope to transfer that team cohesion to the America's Cup.
Everybody knows that we don't have, the biggest budget of the America's Cup, so for us what is important is to be pragmatic. And we thought that by sailing with the same group of sailors, it allows us now to have the sailors on a full-time base, not only for a couple of days for Sail GP per month. They are full-time based with us, and we can work on any of the program we want, anytime we want during the week or the weekend. And it's by having the sailors working together that we will succeed and do a pretty good result, I think.
Behind the sailors is an extremely experienced management team, spearheaded by Stéphane Candler and Bruno Dubois, as well as French sailing royalty and their head of performance, Frank Camas, offshore legend, ocean race winner and leader of France's last America's Cup entry in 2017.
The performance is the base of the America's Cup. I'm here to find a way to cut straight to the performance without a lost time, because we don't have time. We don't have a lot of money, but especially we don't have time, and this we have to concentrate on the driver of the performance and not on the bad things. So it's my role, and my role is to to do the best link as possible between the crew, between the design team and the short team, to be ready and to be as best as possible in 1 year.
I mean, Franck Hamas is the very best French sailor in a way of performance, and it's so good to have him on the rib and looking after data, pushing us to push the boat and moving forward, managing the test. And I think we try whatever he wants and whatever we want, and that's probably why we improve so fast. It's a really good asset for the team, and especially for all the sailors, because we are quite young and we get so much experience with Franck and just helping us to improve our boat handling, straight lines. I think it's a good setup.
Using a design package acquired from Team New Zealand, the team hopes for a smooth transition to their AC75 next spring. France has challenged for the America's Cup a dozen times since 1970. For a nation with such a rich history in sailing, it would mean everything to finally win it.
12 campaigns, it's a lot, and none already lift up this trophy, so it would be an honor to lift it up.
To beat the Kiwis at their own game would be something I'd certainly enjoy, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge, and we know exactly that we've got a lot of work to do, but I think just the opportunity that we have, we've got to take it with two hands, we've got to push super hard. We've got a year basically full steam ahead, and let's see what we can do at the end.
It's not normal that France has not yet won the America's Cup, and we have everything we need. Probably some people might say, it's a question of money. I think it's a question to start at the right point, at the right moment, and to make the right decision at the right moment. And I hope we will prove that we did that. And clearly, we hope to be the outsider for sure, but for sure the team that can win.
It's time to catch up with other sailing from around the world now. World Sailing has been named winner of the IOC Climate Action Award in the Sustainable Travel category. The award recognised their work at the Allianz Sailing World Championships in The Hague, which saw members of staff, officials and the media provided with bicycles to get around the host city. Platoon won the 2023 52 Super Series following an exciting climax to the championship in Puerto Patals. Preveza had arrived at the season finale with an 18-point lead, but their boat suffered rig damage before the start of race 4. Phoenix dominated the regatta, winning 4 of the 9 races. Platoon finished the event in 4th place, with Preveza back in 8th. That meant the two boats finished the season level on 198 points. But Platoon won the title courtesy of finishing above Preveza in the final event. However, on the podium, in a display of great sportsmanship, Hans Muller-Spreer insisted on sharing the trophy with his Turkish rivals, and they celebrated together. Muna White and Pedro Matos ran out winners at the 4th and penultimate stop at the GKA Kitesurf World Tour in Dakhla, Morocco. In the men's event, Brazil's Matos took his first event win after charging through the heats and posting some of the biggest scores of the competition. US veteran Muna White closed out her event in consummate style. In a league of her own all the way through the heats, she finished ahead of Capucine Delanoy and Zoe Basile in the final. Furio Bernucci's 100-foot Arca has won the 55th edition of the Barcolana race off the coast of Trieste in northeast Italy. The event started in almost windless conditions, but when the breeze did arrive, Arca took the lead to finish the shortened race in a time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, with Prosecco DOC Shockwave in second and Way of Life back in third. While the Barcolana was taking place on the water, back on land, Tristan Perron was winning World Sailing's E-Sailing World Championship. In a dominant display, the Frenchman had a 13-point lead going into the medal race, where he comfortably held on to win the title, ahead of Arthur Farley of Great Britain and compatriot Tim Carpentier. Finally, Belgium's Jentel Kers has won the overall 2023 PWA freestyle title in front of 20,000 fans at the Silt World Cup in Germany. Greece's Lennart Neubauer won the competition to record his first PWA event victory, but second place was enough to secure Kers the title he last won in 2019. The Olympic qualifying programme stretches from the Allianz World Championships last August to the Last Chance Regatta in Hyères next April. 16 events that will decide how the 312 places up for grabs will be split between countries. As hosts, France have been given a place in all 10 events at the Games, The World Championships saw another 107 places awarded. Traditional powerhouses, Holland and Great Britain led the way, claiming 8 spots each, while Spain and Italy weren't far behind on 7. Following the Worlds, the Formula Kite European Championships in England saw 112 riders chasing the 2 Olympic qualifying places on offer there. Gisela Borel's 6th place finish in the women's event was enough to earn Spain one of those spots, as all the riders above her were from nations who had already qualified for the Games.
This event was super important for us because there was one spot for one ticket for the Olympics, and we were fighting a few countries for that ticket, and I was fighting with Poland, with Austria, with Swiss girl. It was quite a stressful week, I have to say.
In the men's event, a 4th place finish was enough for Janis Maus to secure Germany their kite slot for Paris 2024. Next up on the Olympic qualifying calendar was the 19th Asian Games in Hangzhou, China, with 6 more places up for grabs across the dinghy, windsurfing and kite events. The Ilka 6 competition saw Noor Shazrin Mohamed Latif secure a slot for Malaysia at next year's Olympics. Ryan Lowe repeated the feat for Singapore in the Ilka 7 class.
Big relief for me to be able to get a spot for the country for the next Olympics, and yeah, I'm just really pleased with the week I've sailed. Yeah, I just try to do whatever I can this next 1 year to improve, and then we'll see where we are at the starting line in July.
In the IQ foil event, Tokyo bronze medalist Bi Kun secured a spot for China in the men's competition. A feat replicated by Hong Kong's Ma Quan-Ching in the women's series.
I'm so happy that everything goes smoothly. This week actually I performed quite well, and my mentally is quite strong that I can stay under pressure and not to fall in the water or whatever. And I'm quite happy that I can keep my result quite stable.
It proved to be a double celebration for Thailand in the Formula Kite event, as Joseph Weston's bronze medal and Benyapa Jantuan's silver were enough to secure the country the final 2 Olympic spots. That's it for now, but next time, we find out the winners of the Rolex World Sailor of the Year Awards. And continue our countdown to Paris 2024.